Looking good. Okay, so we have our sauce made, and I'm just going to mix that up a little bit in the bag. We're going to take this sauce and we're going to put our pork loin in it. Again, this is 1.25 pounds pork loin. We're going to put that right in the bag, and I'm going to change gloves now. Real handy. And what you can do, usually you want to let this marinate for about 2 hours. You're going to marinate this meat for about 2 hours. Now you can do it the night before. You can let it sit all night long, and it's not going to hurt a darn thing. So I'm going to put that in the bag, and I'm just going to let that all get right over my pork loin here. Now what's nice about this with both the vegetables and this is something you can prepare the morning before you go to work. You could also prepare it the night before, let it sit, and then when you come home from work, you're ready to have a delicious meal. So again, this marinade is all in your bag. What's very nice about this is this marinade will also become a very delicious sauce. So I have my pork loin marinating in the Ziploc bag. What we're going to do is we're going to have our temperature at about 350 to 400 degrees. We're going to put this pork loin on the grill for about 10 to 12 minutes on each side. Now, I've got a pretty good heat going on my vegetables, so they're doing quite well. I'm going to give them a little turn. It looks good. Okay, so this pork loin, I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it right on the grill. Excuse me there. Now, this pork loin, what you want to do as well is you want to have a cover. Now for demonstration purposes, this grill doesn't have a cover, so I will improvise and we will have a cover. I'm going to let that go for about 10 to 12 minutes on one side, and then I'm going to turn it and let it go for another 10 to 12 minutes. You're going to find a nice even grill mark on your pork. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to let that go for a little bit. Now, here's the best part. The marinade that you just used. What you want to do is put that into a small saucepan, and you're going to boil that for 2 minutes. And that's going to ensure that we're safe and reduce some of the alcohol a bit and give you a delicious sauce that we're going to use in just a minute on our pork loin. Okay, so I have all that going. Clear my area just a little here. Next step, what we will do is, through the miracle of science, I have prepared a pork loin previously, and what I will do is give you an idea of a great serving suggestion. Tongs here. Now, what I recommend on the pork loin, after it cooks for a period of, again, 10 to 12 minutes on each side, what you're going to do is take it out and let it rest. Now, the new safety guidelines for handling food shows that 145 degrees is sufficient for all the large cuts of meat, such as your pork loin, your pork chops, your steaks, and that's going to give you about a medium rare. 160 degrees is going to be just about medium. And again, 165 degrees is good for all poultry and any kind of ground meat, like your ground turkey, definitely your ground beef, that sort of thing. But I like to have mine right about 150 degrees. Part of that, I believe it's a little bit more tender. Sometimes you might find a pinkish hue on some of the meats, especially with smoked meats, as well as something like this. You're going to find that you're going to get a pinkish hue. And that has to do with the cooking process, not that it's not cooked thoroughly. But we can definitely assure if you get 150 degrees in the thickest part. Now again, I really encourage something like an instant read thermometer. I have a Thermopen. These are fantastic. And what you want to do is you want to measure it right at the thickest portion. And you want to make sure you have at least 145 degrees to make sure you're safe. Okay? Now, this sauce is boiling nicely. I'm going to let that go for a few minutes and just whisk it a little bit to make sure we don't burn. And then I'm going to cut my pork loin. What I like to do is I have a bed of rice, and I'm going to slice my pork loin at a slight angle to give a nice pretty presentation. And again, the resting is also going to help to keep in the juices. So as we go along, we're going to cut some very gorgeous medallions of this meat. It's absolutely delicious. Let's see here, we're doing good. This is definitely a favorite of the families. I get excited about it, and they get excited when I cook it, so that works. All right, we're looking good, I see here. Go one more little cut there. Okay, and our sauce is just about there. That burner burns quite hot, so I think we're looking good. So again, I'm going to place these medallions on my little tray here in my bed of rice. Give it a nice presentation. And then I'm going to take my grilled vegetables that I have from prior, and I'm going to place these on the tray as well. And again, what I have here is the zucchini, the mushroom, the portobello mushroom, and the squash. Absolutely delicious. Make sure they get all on here. Again, one thing about this dish, it's fantastic. I can have this prepared prior to going to work. I just cut my mushrooms and my zucchini. I get my pork all marinating in the bag. I take my little Ziploc bags to my grill, and I am good to go. I absolutely enjoy that. Again, it's a fun, easy meal that is absolutely just delicious. It's just incredible. I have to give credit where credit's due. I actually got this recipe from a presentation I saw, and it just absolutely was fantastic. Now again, just another thing on the marinade, you can also vary what you'd like to do. If you like a little bit sweeter sauce, you can add a little more honey mustard. If you like a little bit tartar, you can add a little bit more Worcestershire. Our sauce is looking good here. What I'm going to do with that sauce, now that I've whisked it, I'm just going to take some of this sauce and drizzle it over the pork. You can do a little or a lot. Usually I start with a little and then put a lot more on, because it is absolutely fantastic. Okay, I think we're looking good. It's not bad to dip the vegetables in as well. It's a fantastic sauce. So, there we go. We have grilled vegetables. Again, just to review, again, you've got olive oil and your favorite seasoning. Just going to put that in a Ziploc bag and then put them on the grill for about 10 minutes or so. Make sure and stir them around so they don't burn. We also have your pork loin with our marinade, which also serves as our sauce. We're going to boil it for 2 minutes. We're going to let that sit in a bag for 2 hours, or overnight is fine as well. And then we're going to cook that on the grill for 10 to 12 minutes. And what you have here, I'm going to give you a little bit better view here. I'm sorry for the camera work. But that would be your pork loin dish. And again, it is absolutely delicious. I hope you can see that. But I hope you enjoyed the presentation. I hope this is one of many to come. Again, fast, easy, and delicious. Have a great day, and thank you for your time.